Tell him to come in 30. Hunter's freaking. Bam, we're live. Hunter's freaking out because I haven't sent him a link yet. Hey, whoa, Caleb, look at you.
You got it now.
Did you get a haircut or your hair's growing in?
Haircut.
Oh, I thought you were bald already.
More bald.
Extra bald.
I don't mean this at anyone in particular. You have to understand that to anyone who's listening. I do not mean this to anyone in particular. I'm not thinking anyone in particular. But you have to know that 9 out of the 10 people who try to come on this show, who try to participate in this show, it's like going to try out for the NFL and hi, good morning, Elise. Good evening. We're already there. You think that you want to play with Caleb and Will and Matt and me. You don't. We're not playing. We're not playing. We need other people, but we're not playing. We're already going 500 miles an hour. We're already there. We already think we've arrived. Do you think you've already arrived? You don't have to have the talent. We don't need anybody who's talented. We need people who know that we're already there. You would just never have an excuse. Like you're the luckiest person in the world to participate in this show. I don't want to that's how I feel. I can't help it. And so those of you who've tried to come on or who want to be a co-host or who said you're going to help us with shit and you're just not trying to be I didn't know Caleb and Souza were going to be here just now. Everyone's running to keep up. And this thing's like a train and it goes by every single day. And Caleb and Matt and me try to jump on and Will tries to jump on. And there's people that we invite to jump on because they beg to jump on and we keep driving by their house and they don't jump on. And I get it. You can't believe that this train, how hard this train is working. We're already there, guys. So those of you who've had the opportunity, I just want you to know that eventually this train won't go by your house. I'm just trying to give the metaphor. I just feel sorry for some people who act like they want to be a part of this club, but and the door's wide fucking open, but they really don't because they don't understand. They don't understand. Right now, it's a 3 billion ton train that's going 8 miles an hour. And tomorrow it's going to go 9 and eventually it's going to go 60 and you'll never be able to catch it. And kudos to Caleb, Matt, and Will for getting on like crazy. Are you Sevan strong? I'm Sevan Adam Matosyan, but I'm pretty fucking strong right now.
Wait,
value image. Adam, A-R-A-M. My son's name is Joseph Strong. Joseph Strong Matosyan.
Your middle
13K ton. Oh, is it 13K? No, 300 billion tons. It's bigger than 13. It's a massive train. Thank you. That 13K. 13,000 ton. Is that big enough? I don't know. It reminds me of what Matt and Josh used to say. Everyone says that they're working as hard as they can, but they're really not. We're working as hard as we can. You want to be a part of it. It looks like it's fun. I told Matt today, Souza today, I called him. I go, I'm fucking so burnt out. Why did I choose to do another show today? Because that's what fucking Colton Mertens does after he fucking gets off the Tyson pig farm. Because I surround myself with people like that. Yeah. Yep. Trina gets it before I could even say it. Roscoe. You don't win Hyrox as a senior citizen.
Who the fuck are you guys?
You don't win Hyrox as a senior citizen by fucking taking days off.
This is the open show. They just let anybody on this one.
Holy shit, dude.
What's up, brah?
Are you tripping?
Are you tripping?
You beat the world record by 2 minutes?
Yeah, brah. I just spent way too much time working out. Way too much time.
Hey, I talked to you before the event and you said you were going to retire.
I am going to retire. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's just amazing. I'm so impressed.
Thanks, brother, man.
I'm so impressed. Caleb, I have to kick you off. Too many people.
Wow. Oh, you got the boot that quick?
Yeah, well, you could bring him back like that too.
Fuck, that was heavy.
Bye. Look, watch this. Hi. Bye. Hi.
Where do you guys all exist?
In your head.
That's pretty true. Actually, I've been losing my mind a lot lately. The kind of places that you need to go to get that kind of performance out of your body is pretty much. I videotaped it and didn't post it today just because I was like, I don't really want to talk about this on social media because then it's just gonna. I don't really care to give people that. Not that I don't care about people. It's just like it's odd. But since you guys are my friends, the kind of
Do you
place
even
you
know
have.
him? Do you know the guy down there below, Matt Souza? Have you ever met him?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I'm
What's up,
kind of
Hunter?
pretending that I'm just in an intimate room with you, Sevan.
oh,
I
okay,
sat
yeah.
behind you in the 7th grade in English class.
Did we really?
No. I'm just- yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, I
Wasn't
can
it?
kick his ass
That'd
to
have
the
been
curb
wild.
too. Watch. Bye.
I was an asshole
like
back
that.
then in 7th grade, so I really hope that we weren't in the same class because that would
You
really.
gave him a snuggie in the 7th grade. Okay, pretend like we don't know each other so good, and I want to ask you some questions.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get deep and meaningful.
Stop flashing your beaver. That guy's name is C Beaver, Caleb Beaver, but we just call him C Beaver, and someone made a joke. Stop flashing your beaver. Hunter, so you competed in the Hyrox World Championships this past weekend.
It wasn't World Championships. It was just the last event that you could qualify for World Championships. So it was stacked for sure. It's kind of like the best way of putting it would be like winning a sectional or something like that.
Hyrox.
Yes. I don't even know what that means.
And this is and how many years have you been participating in these events?
I did my first one in 2019, but I've been doing the version of sport, what this is called, which is fitness racing since 2017. Other companies like Tough Mudder had a championship called TMX that was very similar to this, shorter but similar. And that's how I got into all this stuff. And actually, a lot of CrossFit Games athletes used to come and compete in that annually. So now, this thing's a much more developed version of it where it's an international sport.
It's huge in Germany, right? That's kind of its.
Yeah. Every single event in Germany, they're putting on probably 2 to 3 events a month between 2,000 and 3,000 people. And in the UK, they're putting on one every month or every other month, anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 people participating, not just showing up. So it's a pretty packed fitness event.
And it's the same. Will you tell me the course really quick?
The best way to explain it is basically it's like a circuit. It's a running circuit where it's like Helen, but like way, way, way more work. Every single time you do 1,000 meters, you have to come in and do a fitness challenge. And all of the fitness challenges are kind of representations of all the sports that are out there. So obviously ski erg is Nordic skiing, sled push is like bobsled, sled pull is like strongman, tug of war type shit, burpee broad jump is just fitness, rowing is Olympic rowing, farmer carry, strongman, lunges is just a fitness movement, and wall balls. You're looking at all, that's not pro weights or pro reps, but those are the movements you need to do. So we have to do 100 wall balls at the end with 20 pounds.
Okay, so it's hold on, what was after sandbag? I want to see that one more time down there. Sandbag and then wall balls.
Wall balls.
Okay, and then do you finish with the run? No, you finish with the wall balls. Sandbag,
Done.
Wall balls. Okay, so everyone, I'm going to tell you what the event is right now, not what the reps. It's 1,000-meter run, then a ski erg. Then it's 1,000-meter run, it's a sled push. It's 1,000-meter run, it's burpee broad jump. It's 1,000-meter run, 1,000-meter row. It's 1,000-meter run, it's kettlebell swing.
No, farmer carry, 200
farmer carry.
yards.
1,000-meter run, sandbag, lunge.
Sandbag lunge, yep, 100
Lunge.
meters with 65 pounds.
Brutal. And then 1,000-meter run, and then wall balls.
100, yeah.
Nasty. And you've been doing this. What was the slowest world record you've ever set in this? Like when you first set, when you came in, or when you came into the sport, do you remember what the world record was? It was over an hour, right?
No, the world record was 58:59. It's 58:59. But here's the thing, and they don't like admitting it, but the European courses are very different from the American courses. They use different material and different fitness equipment. And then also the halls, like they don't have big arenas like we do here in the United States. So the way that they set these things up is they take convention centers, and they put them inside of them. But usually, for some reason, all of the arenas in Europe are much smaller.
Smaller with an H, SHM, smaller?
Yeah, smaller.
Okay.
And what happens is technically everything is supposed to be the same distance, but because of the way that they design the course, the inside, like the travel that you have to do between stations in the United States is always much further. So that's called the rock zone. So that's another time domain that like where they measure how long it takes you to get from station to station. And ours are always like 2 to 3 minutes longer than the European courses. So European times are for pussies.
What are why the term rock zone?
Well, high rocks. So rocks is some kind of German. It's something in German. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's the rock zone.
So the high would be like the penis and the anus, and the rocks would be like the space in between the two.
That'd be the gooch.
The gooch zone. I have to. Sorry, I like to put everything in context so I can understand it into my world. And so, what about the other implications of the equipment? Are you suggesting that maybe the kettlebells would have a thicker grip, sometimes thinner grip? Are you saying that sometimes the sandbags are softer or heavier, so they sit easier on your shoulders when you're doing the lunges, shit like that, even? Or
predominantly, the biggest factor is that they use different sleds than us. And I know this sounds. I mean, you'd have to really be into it. It's like. It'd be almost like doing Olympic lifting meet with an Alico barbell versus like one of the barbells they used to use back in like the 1920s where they didn't have ball bearings.
Right.
So they use different carpets. And for some reason, the way that their carpets over there work, you'll notice if you watch one of the videos.
I prefer a 1970s carpet bush to the more modern
shag.
I really like a shaggy one.
See all that carpet that they're using right there?
Yes.
In the United States, for some reason, our carpet and sleds just stick differently. Like I'm 200 pounds of pure muscle, and I don't even come within 1 minute of the times that it takes them to do the sleds. And you'll notice the guys that I'm racing against over there are so much smaller. It's not like you just see it. And when I went over there and I raced for World Championships in 2020, I pushed the sleds in like a record time. Because it's just different material. But the thing is like... Is
that you in the background there with the fro?
Yeah, you can see my mom in the background looking all
that's awesome.
Sexy and shit.
Uh-huh.
But it's always about who wins on the day. In reality, you can bitch and moan about the courses, but World Championships are in Vegas on May 14th, and that will be in this arena. Everyone's got to do the same thing, so... At the end of the day, the best man wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, can someone call in on the call-in number? I want to see if the call-in number is working. I switched. Oh shit! I can't even do the banners. I switched phones. I just want to see if it works. Okay, so you're saying you did it on what's even more amazing is not only did you break the world record by 2 minutes, but you did it
on American soil.
Yeah. Where some of the equipment is so if someone did it even like within 30 seconds of that time next month in Europe, you would be like, not so much.
Yeah, but I try not to say anything about it publicly because it's just like, then you just sound like a sore loser. And I really like the guy, Toby, who set the world record before me.
Hello, caller. Hi, how are you? So many callers calling in. All right, so it works. Thank you for calling. Okay.
Sure. Do you have whack packers? Yeah, what's up?
Hey, just so you know, I just did the Hyrox event in Dallas too, where Hunter was.
Yeah, I almost hung up on you. You gotta speak way faster. Fucking kicking you to the curb, homeboy.
That carpet absolutely stunned me. Like I literally thought I was gonna throw up after the sled push, and that was at just the regular weight.
Well, are you 200 pounds of just roided up muscle like Hunter?
Not pure muscle, no, not like Hunter. But I do have a ton more respect for Hunter since he did that. 55 minutes beat doubles time.
Did you see Hunter there?
Yeah.
Is he cool or does he just walk around like a prick, like he knows he's the Hyrox shit?
He thinks he's so fit, man. But good thing he actually is.
Look at he beat fucking second place by 5 minutes. Hunter was already talking to Scott's wife before that shit was over. Hey, Scotty. Okay. Hey, thanks for calling. Wait. Thanks for calling.
Brandon Luckett. We recognize that name.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Whose number are they calling?
Hello, Mr. Fields. Hi, how are you?
Sevan.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Good.
What's up, Hunter? I'm in your Hayos group. Sick fucking job getting the sorry, I just walked outside. Getting the world record.
Wait, what group are you in with him? In his AA group?
Yes.
Yeah, good one. So at the beginning of the podcast, Hunter was going to say something before Sevan interrupted him about like a certain mental headspace like you have to get in to win.
He wasn't saying shit about that, was he really?
Yeah, he was. You just straight up interrupted him, bro. It was like actually interesting.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You suck at doing podcasts.
Oh my God.
Because it's never really informative. It's just like if we were around a fire pit and everyone had acid and a couple Four Locos, that's how you have a podcast.
That's it. Nailed it. That's what we're going for. That's our brand.
So fucking high.
This is embarrassing. Change the title of this podcast to Critiquing Sevan.
I had to do it. I do like when you talk about wieners and bushes, though. That's always interesting.
Thank you. Okay, so please, Hunter, tell us about the mindset.
I'll put it to you this way. I have been doing this now for 11 years, and it started out with me, like I've always had to promise at extreme levels that I would commit to something, even to the point where I had explained this to somebody earlier where they didn't really know if they trusted me in my word. I was like, I had to tattoo a trident on my back when I was in rehab because I was doing heroin to promise myself that I was no longer going to do heroin and I was going to go into the Navy SEALs. I had to tattoo Macho Man Randy Savage on my ribs to promise myself because I was like, Macho Man Randy Savage gives up to no one. Because I had lost my world championship that year and I was like, maybe I'm washed up. Maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. And you always are having to double down at a level every single year, even more than the year before, to convince yourself that you're still the best and then it's still worthwhile. And then it's still worthwhile, not showing up to birthday parties, not showing up to my niece's, birth, not showing up to funerals, not showing up to dates where people, you're supposed to hold yourself accountable. And not to be all melodramatic, but I've kind of missed out on the majority of my life where people that I really love, I'm passing by and I'm just fucking over it. When I commit, like I committed for the past 2 months, I literally cooked
You're
my
over
brain.
what? You're over what?
I just am over putting myself through that shit, dude.
Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I had to go to therapy 3 times a week for the past 2 months to get my fucking head straight.
And what was that? Like, just because you were missing out on so many, like, enjoyments of life, or you just kind of burnt out?
No, dude, I'm just so fucking hard on myself. When people should be like, man, you're great. I never say that to myself. I absolutely hate myself every single day of my life. And then all of a sudden, not like I'm suicidal or something like that, but that's the kind of stuff you need to say to yourself.
Like you just wear a cock ring that's too small.
Too tight.
Too tight.
Too tight.
And so even when you win, there's no reprieve is what you're saying. Like you win and you still feel empty.
I won and set the world record and I got to spend time with my friends. But then all of a sudden it was like, we were all out of the bars and like everyone wanted to jump and dance on couches. We got a table and I just started drinking Coca-Cola and sitting down in a chair. And I was like, fuck, what am I doing here again? And, I get it, dude. Like I've got better opportunities than most people in the entire world. And I am super, super grateful that I got to this point, but I'll tell you, it doesn't taste as sweet anymore. When I was 24 years old and I won a championship and they gave me a $500 check and I spent it all on beer that night and I'd headbutt somebody in the bar and try to kiss all the girls. I was like, this is the fucking shit. And that's great. Like I've done all that, but I think I'm just ready for the next chapter is my point.
How hard?
Well, thanks for the answer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sevan, I'm gonna watch the podcast live. Thank you so much for the call, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, hon.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, brother. Even
See you,
with
bud.
your critique. Jackass.
Total fucking turd. No, I'm just kidding.
Dickhead. No, he's a good
dick.
dude. Yeah, Mr. Fields.
You there?
Yeah, I'm thinking about how did you push yourself hard? Like when you went 50, it is really crazy. So here's the fuel. this is how you set a world record. You have to have tons of, the only thing we know so far is that you needed a therapist 3 times a week for the last 2 months. But what about the other part? What's the other? And you're just not satisfied. Something's missing. But you won. Is that the formula to winning?
I think it is. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've spent so much time researching like all of the best warriors, warlords, athletes. You know, everybody seems to have this same kind of formula in their head of absolution towards the idea that they're chasing. And I would say the majority of the time, they're always end up being isolated by themselves, because no one's going to believe what you're saying to yourself in your head over and over and over and over again.
Why won't they believe it? Because they just can't imagine that being the championship mindset.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I have these training camps all the time, and I'm super lucky that my friends want to come out and train with me. But by like the third day, everybody always breaks. Everybody always breaks, and they always want to take the next workout and change it a little bit. And they always want to, you know, push the workout that we're supposed to start out at like, 8 a.m. and push it to 9 so that they can have more breakfast and take a longer turd. And it always happens. And then what
Did you
happens,
guys hear this shit? This is how I started the show before Hunter got on here. You don't want a piece of this podcast. Go fuck yourself. Stop acting like you want to get on my train. You want to get on the Hunter train? You think you're going to come there and just train for a few days and then be like, we're going to cut everything by 30%. We're tired.
Yeah.
Fuck
and
you.
It always ends up happening. And then what ends up happening with me, and it sucks, is then I end up getting angry or disappointed in you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, rather than even giving that chance for anger or disappointment, you just go like this and just push.
Yeah.
Like every single time, I love my mom with my entire heart, but every single time I come home, my mom's like, "You're doing too much. You're just going to hurt yourself. Why don't you just eat some lobster and put butter all over it and have a bunch of wine with me?" And I'm like, "I love you, Mom, but you're I was like, you don't fucking understand me at all." And I love my mother. She's the sweetest person on the entire planet. I wish I had more of her heart and mind. But that's the cost. I bet you somebody like Matt Frazier's the king of your guys' sport. I bet you near the very
Fuck
end.
that, not my sport. I'm over that shit.
But you know what I mean? I bet you that guy on the inside was losing his shit 9 times out of 10. But he threaded
I think
the
he's
needle,
still
dude.
losing his shit. I think he's still losing his shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's great though. I mean, dude, you gotta have that kind of mindset to get that kind of result.
Hey, do you, Mark Fuentes says that maybe you need Jesus. Do you know who Jim Hensel is?
No.
We had him on the show, and he works with Michael Chandler, and he works with Rich Froning. Do you know who Michael Chandler is?
No.
He's a UFC fighter, huge UFC fighter. And basically he works with NFL players, and he works with them to prepare them for the life after their sport. You've had to have heard this whole thing, right? With like, hey, you can't identify with your victories or your sport, or do you know what I'm talking about? This problem, like someone thinks that they're an NFL football player because they've done it for 10 years and then their career's over, and then they're like, wait, who the fuck am I?
I'd love to talk to him sometime.
It's kind of a cliche narrative, but maybe it's something like that you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You're done being this guy, this guy.
Well, I'll tell you, man, it was super
And that
hard.
guy has to die, and it just sucks. Death sucks.
Yeah. I went through all that shit. It sucks because all of a sudden I was like, wait a second. I've spent my entire career, and this is crazy. So I literally left rehab, and then I went into modeling, and I was like, well, everybody thinks I'm really cool because I'm modeling now. And that works for like 5 seconds because I was like, I fucking hate modeling. I'm not doing this shit. What am I going to do now? I tried to go to college for like 5 seconds because I thought that was the right thing to do. And I was like, this sucks. So I dropped out right away, went back to modeling for 2 seconds. And in that period of time, I decided to go do a mud run. And I came 6th place out of 10,000 people. Like everybody in the room was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, that lit a spark up. Then all of a sudden I went to the next race and I won a half marathon. I'd never even run over 3 miles in my entire life. And I ran a half marathon, and everyone was like, oh shit. And I got a medal around my neck, and now people were starting to pay me. Within 6 months, I was getting flown all over the world by Spartan Race and Reebok to now represent their sport and be the face of their new sport. And I was like, this is it. I guess this is what I do now. And it became everything. I got my first ever job for Spartan Races. They sent me to Mexico as the super gringo. And they put a $10,000 purse on my head to say that no one in Mexico could beat me. And I had never even been to Mexico before. And it just started that quickly. And it's been going at that pace for, as I said, 11 seasons now. And it's interesting. I mean, I guess, you know, I've been reading all these weird spiritual books.
Like what?
And, you know, the most eye-opening one was, I think it's called Yogi Engineer by that Sadhguru guy. And then there's this other book that I fucking hated. I remember someone gave it to me 5 years ago, a therapist. It was called Awareness. And I read the first fucking 10, 20 pages, and I just threw the book at the wall. I was like, this is such bullshit.
That's the one for you. That's the book.
Was there ever fulfillment with those wins? Like with the half marathon and we started, did you ever feel internal fulfillment with those, or was it all just based off of like the acclimates from external admiration?
I mean, there's fulfillment for sure, dude. It's very exciting to all of a sudden win a half marathon with absolutely no clue how to get past the third mile. Like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But then eventually, you know, you totally get wrapped up in it. And then also you don't know how to put it down. Like, you know, you're only as good as your last win. And I lost the last 2 races. Even though I basically went 5 years undefeated, and I was undefeated in the majority of all the events that I've ever competed in. That one right there, that book's fucking mind blowing. If you have if you're open enough to listen, it's a pretty intense book.
How dare you?
Listen, I don't know if you're gonna be able to wrap your tiny little peanut brain around that thing.
How dare you?
Yeah. So it's interesting, man. Like I can honestly say, I had this weird thing happen to me the other day. I was reading this part of the book, and it said you're going to have to put down, you know, someone's name that you're madly in love with, and then say it out loud that you are okay not being in love with them to find your own happiness. And I thought of some people, and I was like, who the fuck am I going to put on this list? And then for the first time, for a second, I thought about a bunch of other people. And then I was like, oh shit, dude. I was like, you got to put your name at the top of this list. I was like, you got to give up the mud run champ. I was like, if you're ever going to be a dad or like a husband or any of that kind of shit, you're going to have to give up the fact that, you know, you going to events and being paraded all the time. And that's probably the healthiest thing for you. And that was fucking weird. And I never thought like this before. I've intentionally left all these books in the back of my closet with tons of dust on them because I was like, if I start thinking like this, it is the end before I know it. But I'm pretty pumped to be reading the books now.
Can you see the comments?
No, of course not. What am I supposed to say?
we're having a moment of silence right now. I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking it's we're 20 in a minute and 20 seconds. Another guest is coming on, but you're just like, you've taken us into the deep end of the pool. I was just like, how the fuck do we integrate a UFC fighter? Just so you know, we have a Hunter McIntyre here. He's going through some inner despair because he just set a fucking world record in something that he's been working on for 11 years. Jordan, I'm sorry. We can't pump you up for the guy you have to beat the fuck out of on Saturday.
Or maybe it will pump him up.
Yeah, maybe. Whoa, look how serious. Hunter, what? Hey.
I was reading a text message.
Oh. Your brow got all tight. Oh, good. So you're not reacting to what I'm saying. You're using when I talk, you use that as a time to read. That's what we all do to each other on the show. No one listens to anyone.
That's a common theme here.
Yeah. Congrats on the world record, Hunter. Looking forward to the next bulk pony shirt.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. I make bulk pony racing shirts. Listen,
and you know what's funny is this guy's a Josh Bridges fan. Look he loves you and Josh Bridges, Nick G, because he's got to pay him as his avatar.
The pay him logo.
What were you gonna say? Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh shit.
That wasn't meant to be melodramatic. I think anybody who's super serious about sport should probably have that conversation with yourself at one point or another. It's pretty exciting shit.
Well, but, where are you flying tomorrow?
I'm going to go back home to California.
And are you going to Malibu?
I always go to Malibu. Yeah. I'll probably go up to the cabin, and then we'll get some shit up there done in the woods. Then I'm going to go back to Alabama and just bust my ass for a couple weeks. And then I'm going to go to this thing called the Go Ruck Games.
Would you like me to introduce you to Jim Hensel?
I'll say hi to him for a second.
Yeah. He's cool. He's cool as shit. I think you'll like him.
He's not backstage or anything. I think he means
No, he's not like no, not the UFC fighter. Jim Hensel's the guy that the mental coach that does Rich Froning, Michael Chandler, like that thing.
Yeah, man, I would love to. Tell your UFC buddy I say what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're off like a prom dress.
Boys, I gotta wake up early.
Okay.
Thanks,
hey, love you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay.
That was deep.
I feel like we should know what hotel he's staying in and have someone check on him every like 30 to 40 minutes.
I'll jog over there. Inspire him with a run.
Damn.
He leaves me behind because he's so much fitter than I am.
Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hunter still there?
No. Hi, Mars. Hey, this was... Oh, he hung up. Holy cow. That was intense. That was intense. You know, I was talking to him a little bit the last few days on and off, and I was like, hey, you don't seem like yourself. And he's like, yeah, just, you know. And, yeah, he's just going through some shit. I wonder...
You're witnessing a transition in, like, his, like...
What's crazy
like
is he just set the world record for something that's so fucking hard. So hard. Excuse me. Okay. All right.
Interesting.
I'm getting some interesting news. Ooh. These are the people in Colton Mertens semifinal. Oh man. Fakowski, Toon, Chandler Smith, Travis Mayer, Sam Quant, Tim Paulson, Colton Mertens, Anthony Davis. Who's N. Matthew? Nick Matthew? Nathan Matthew. I don't know who that is.
I was just reading something off your notes here, and it like caught my eye while Hunter was talking.
What number?
18.
Oh yes, amazing, right? So I have
Respect.
Do you not do that?
For sure, dude.
You do.
That's so rude.
Really?
You have to kick them out.
Wow. Holy shit.
The cat too.
What?
Yes. You don't want them to see that's like your kids.
Wow. So the story's this. I have this friend who won't have sex in front of his dog. And I was just tripping when he told me that. And I'm like, I got to talk about that on the show. You won't have sex in front of your dog?
Dude, imagine he comes up and starts licking your freaking asshole.
Pull blanket up over that thing. I'm sure that's happened to me before.
I'm in my box. I'm vulnerable.
I've had to have had that happen before. You think you'd remember that. Or maybe you don't. You just block it out. Now my bed's so high, nothing can lick my ass. Wow. If you want women whose Hyrox Spartan Games GOAT, I can put in a good word. Colby B.
Who you know, Kobe?
Yeah.
Who you know?
Shh.
Put in their Instagram handle.
Sevan is hunting wabbits. Hey, do you really not have sex in front of your dog?
No way. Kick him out every time.
No shit.
That's weird.
Jordan.
Hey.
You're coming in hot, baby. Do you have any pets?
I do have a few pets.
So I have this friend who told me that he will not have sex with his dog in the room. He kicks the dog out. And Caleb, the bald guy down here in the Air Force, is saying the same. He's saying he kicks his cat and his dog out.
Sevan lets him watch.
I don't even know I don't know where I just kick them off. I don't know. I don't even know if they're there. I just try not to get bit.
Definitely are watching.
Oh no, Jordan, you kick your dog out too?
No. My dog can watch. My poodle can watch. You know.
Okay, good.
I like an audience with things. You know, my best work requires an audience.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I have actually thought though before that like when my dog's in the room that like I've had this like delusion that all the like God, it's like the Matrix. God can look through any one of our eyes, and like while I'm having sex with my wife, God's like looking through my dog's eyes, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a camera for some other creatures. Like, oh shit.
The NSA is watching your webcam too.
Yeah, through my dog, through Parmesh's eyes.
Don't leave StreamYard up.
My wife did unplug the Alexa. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-1. His third appearance on the show, Jordan Leavitt, the Monkey King, one of the most unique fighters in the UFC. Fights at lightweight, 155. He fights this Saturday. We're always excited to watch him fight. He's always generous with his time. Stoked to. Was that your own hand? That looked like someone else's hand. Oh, wouldn't that have been cool if you'd had your wife behind you and like halfway through the show you had like 4 hands? Wow. So how's it going? So you look lean and mean. You already started weight cutting. You look good.
Yeah. I have like 14 pounds left. I just cut out all the carb. I'm a carnivore the next 3 days. So yeah, getting a little jittery and keto-y. So yeah. Should be a fun cut though.
And that metallic taste in the back too, maybe?
Yeah. Like my wife thinks I smell when I'm eating carnivore. I think I don't feel the best. I don't eat I think I have steak only when it's weight cut week. So it's like almost like I created a negative association for steak. So it's kind of ruined that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I got some bison tomorrow and some shrimp for the next few days. So should have some variety.
And then where is your fight this weekend?
Oh, at the Apex. It'll be my 5th fight in a row with no crowd. So it is what it is.
Will you have any friends there? Because I know they have like that VIP section. Will anyone be there like you know?
Not any of like my close friends. Maybe some people I've trained with or I see like in passing. But all my friends are poor. All a bunch of college students. So the VIP experience is a little out of their reach. Trying to get a ticket for my wife, though, that'd be cool. She hasn't seen me fight for like 2 years. So that's what I'm trying to swing.
It doesn't come. It's not like, hey, here's the dude you got to fight to the death, and here's a ticket so one of your loved ones can carry you out if you die.
Right? Like you'd think, like it used to be,
like
a studio. If you're at like an arena, a regular one, like they don't even count your spouses as like a corner person. They could just be in the corner, like they get the same kind of clearance as corner people, and they don't even count as like one of the number. But when you're at the apex in the bubble, then they're pretty merciless about the bubble at the apex, sadly.
Because of the so-called pandemic.
Yeah, it's all the pandemic. Yeah,
are they still swabbing you?
Oh yeah, I get swabbed today, tomorrow, the next day, and then I'm done.
Damn.
Wow, I thought everyone just had COVID now. Like I thought I just always have it.
Right, and carry it with you forever. Like, yeah, they at least in Nevada, like when you go to Jacksonville and Ohio, they're not requiring the swab statewide, but still in Nevada, we got a liberal governor, so it's gonna get that thing up my nose the next few years, I think.
I wonder if if you have to swab to go to a brothel in Vegas.
Go to the bunny ranch. It's like before you get to work, man.
COVID testing. Wear a mask.
Would you like to look at the lineup? We're going to need you to swab first. Shit. So you get a call. How long was your training camp?
I never really got out of my last camp. I took like 4 days off after my last fight, so about 12-ish weeks, a little bit over 12 weeks. And
they called you 4 days after your fight, and they said, "Hey, you want to fight again?"
Basically, yeah. Like, what month were you thinking? I'm like, hopefully April, May. And then April 16th, they started looking for fights for that one. And then it was me and Victor Martinez for like 2 months. And then I had no fight for like 2 weeks. And then, 10 days ago, I got Trey Ogden. So been a little bit of a roller coaster.
So they tell you Victor Martinez, you say, sure, let's scrap. They set the date. Then as you're about 4 weeks out, they say Victor's out. And at that point, you're just keeping your fingers crossed they find someone, or do they guarantee that?
Fingers were crossed. Like, it's not guaranteed. So they said, we'll find somebody. And they actually floated Trey Ogden's name around a few weeks ago, but then nothing came of it. So maybe Sean Shelby was just busy. Not sure what the matchmaker was up to. But then they, I had just given up. I was like, okay, I'm probably not fighting. My agent said I'm probably not fighting. So I had 2 packages of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
a head fuck.
And then 40 minutes later, like, oh, we have found a fight. So I'd given up, and then, got to cheat for one meal. So, yeah, different style of opponent. And I'm actually a little bit more excited and nervous for this matchup because Victor Martinez is a flat-footed boxer. Trey Ogden's a white, less athletic version of me. So it should be a little bit more challenging.
So we'll be able to know who's who.
Yes. Yeah,
All right, good thing you guys are different colors. What time? Do you know what time you fight?
I'm the third fight. The card starts, I believe, at 2:30 or 3:30. I think it's 3:30 PST time. So, yeah, I should probably be fighting around 4 o'clock.
And you live in Vegas, so you'll sleep in your own bed.
Yep. After weigh-ins, you have to sleep at the hotel, but I'll be home until the lab 24 hours.
And are you pumped? Like, 2 fights so close to each other. I mean, this is kind of like you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I like to stay busy. I enjoy training. So I'm like, a lot of fighters don't really enjoy being in camp, but it's really nice to know, like, to have a nice date in mind. So you're focusing. It gives you a little bit sense of urgency. I feel like a lot of the time when I don't have a fight scheduled, I'm just kind of having fun in training, kind of not really focused. And I'm glad to fight twice in 4 months. That's kind of ideal. I want to fight 3 times this year. So April's right on schedule, and hopefully I don't get hurt. I can fight in August and then December again. So yeah.
You're not going to get hurt. You're going to do the hurting. Jordan, I know we've talked a lot just about your upbringing and just life in general. I had a gentleman on the other day. His name is David Taylor, and he won the gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics in wrestling. And I don't remember how old he was, but he was saying that his dad took him somewhere to train with another kid, like an hour from their house. And it was just going to be him and this other kid doing some one-on-one training. And during the training, about a half an hour through the training, David started crying, right? He was young, probably like 10 years old or 12 years old or something. So his dad says, excuse me for a second. And he takes his son and he takes him out into the hallway and he goes, hey, you're going to be tough. This sport, like, there's no crying. Like, you don't cry here. This is like, you're going to be tough. This is tough guy's game. You're in a tough guy's game. This isn't the crying game. And did you ever have a moment like that where you were just like, yeah, this is the no pussy game. This is like eye pokes, broken ankles, or have you always been like that? Or did you have a moment where you're like, okay, this is the fucking tough guy game. This is push everything down and
I think I had to point to probably 2 moments. My sophomore year, so the year I quit wrestling my freshman year, I came back my sophomore year. We had this wrestling coach, Julian, who basically was like a hard A military person, and we maybe wrestled 12 hours that season. We were always just running on the track, and he always would make us yell, sing military songs while running, and he would punish us for a bunch of stupid stuff, and it was really disheartening because that's right after I kind of found a passion for MMA. So I was like, okay, I'm going to join the wrestling team. And then I spent 3 months just running and doing push-ups. And it was super, super frustrating. But he always, whenever we would do push-ups, we always, on the way down, attention to detail, up, teamwork is key. And we did that for 4 months. And he really broke me down a few times and stuff because it kind of was his whole philosophy was everyone, you'll love wrestling, but you're going to hate being out here on the track. So even if you're not as good as the other people you're wrestling, at least you'll be more comfortable being miserable. So kind of like becoming friends of like your fear and your discomfort. I've definitely learned that like pretty early during like this, like my, like while finding my passion. And then probably my third amateur fight, I'd kind of like had 2 fights that are relatively easy and I wasn't hurt and I never felt like I was in trouble. And I kind of was forgetting to like be like friends with like my discomfort. And I was kind of getting too comfortable out there. And I was fighting Shane Shapiro, who's now my jiu-jitsu coach, but before we were enemies, you know. And the first round, he like ragdolls me. And I'm having like a life crisis in the corner. I'm all panicking. Like, oh my gosh, he hit me. I'm tired. I could lose this. My coach is like, yeah, you could lose this. Like, it's a fight. You know, it's a fight. Like, wake up. And I kind of had to relearn how to like dig deep again. Because that up until that point in the fighting, even in sparring, I was sparring UFC people, pro level fighters. I wasn't really feeling like I was being pushed. Like, I was never getting hurt. But then that fight kind of knocked me back into like the mindset I discovered like 5 years prior. So those are definitely probably the 2 moments that kind of solidified my mental toughness. And now I just have to, you know, like you have to enjoy the hill. Like when you're running, like no one likes to run the uphills, but I always try to enjoy like the worst part of it. So that way the rest of it's not bad at all.
There's this saying I heard, people will lose their car keys and go absolutely ape shit, but they'll lose themselves and they won't even know. And it is interesting, right? How that just crept away from you without you even knowing. And you have crazy confidence. I watched 2 of your interviews that you've done in the last 4 weeks. And when you assess other fighters, I don't want to say you talk down about them, but you view yourself as very, very talented. You fucking believe in Jordan Leavitt.
Yeah, I have to believe.
Yeah, but that has to be partners with crazy humility that's willing to take a beat down in training, right?
Yeah, like I always felt like I had a really good handle on the humility, but like I kind of felt like I was almost like hitting like a mental plateau. Like humbleness is really important. It helps you learn a lot. It helps you take the lumps well. But I really feel like I was like almost talking myself down a lot. Like when I was like, think before fights, it's like, oh, don't let him do this, don't let him do this. Like he's really good at this. And then when I trained, it was completely different attitude. It was like, I'm good at this. I'm going to impose what I'm good at. You're here every day. And I've kind of feel like the past 6 months, I'm kind of really making some strides in like my mental game. I've always felt like I'm confident and then like I have like a mood swing where I have no confidence whatsoever. But one of my teammates, Brandon Jenkins, he's fighting the same card as me. He fights 2 fights after me, but he's also kind of like a fighter I look up to. He has like 70 fights, kickboxing, boxing, MMA, a lot of experience. And he always would tell me, he's like, Jordan, you're listening to yourself. Don't listen to yourself. Talk to yourself. You know,
wow.
I've been focusing on talking to myself.
That was good.
Wow.
Good nugget there.
Yeah, that was
holy shit. I never heard that. I'm a fucking self-help fucking guru. I've never heard that. Stop listening to yourself and talk to yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like my last fight before Contender Series.
Ooh.
I had botched the rehydration because I got cross-contaminated from some food at like a restaurant there.
Why can't it just be contaminated? Why is it cross-contaminated? Sounds more scientific.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
I sound more intelligent when I say it that way.
It sure does. Yeah.
But I was feeling horrible, and I was like,
"Cross-contaminated is like if someone else chewed it up and spit it in your mouth."
Someone just big birded it.
Yeah.
I got baby birded by somebody.
Hey, another thing that he was telling me, David Taylor, and I watched a bunch of his matches, is that, and I think you and I talked about this, about when you start to feel the other man wilt. He didn't use the word wilt, but he was saying, and he didn't use the word relentless. I wish I could think of exactly how he said it, but he basically said, you have to go in and not stop. You try something that doesn't work, you just immediately try something else. You just immediately try something else. And I know it's a different sport than MMA. And it's interesting. There is someone, Aljo's like that. There's no stop. Like sometimes like you're just like, yo, dude, Aljamain, like you need to take a like he starts shooting in after a missed punch, and you're like, you respect the nonstop going, but there's also like, hey, dude, maybe you should have stopped and like assessed, because you could get. I guess in wrestling you can't get caught with a punch.
That does make things a little bit more complicated, and
or a kick into the face.
Yeah, like. But like, there's a lot of truth to that, like not stopping. Like as long as you control the rhythm, you will always be a little bit less tired than if you were reacting. And like when I coach people and when I spar, it's like it's not the pace that breaks you, it's the rhythm. Like if I go jogging with somebody and they jog slower than me, if they jog slower than me, I'm gonna get tired before them because it's their pace. But if I'm choosing when I'm going to go fast, I can run a lot farther than if someone was telling me when I have to go fast. And I feel like a lot of times in fighting, the fighters who have like amazing cardio, they really don't have like different equipment than us. They're just keeping to their rhythm no matter what. And that's super important in wrestling, and it's super important in fighting and a lot of sports, I feel.
Wow. I heard someone else say that too one time. They were, I can't remember which fighter it was, but they were saying as long as I find my breathing cadence, I can never get tired. I can't let them ever take me out of my breathing cadence. And then other than that, it's just go. So is that what we see when we see people like Holloway and Covington and just these guys that just have this crazy forward pressure? It's just they
just never get to break their rhythm.
Yeah, they're out there just dancing their ass off.
Yeah, like they're friends with their monster. You know, like no one could break you faster than you can. So as long as you're like, I'm not even going to fight my opponent. I'm just going to fight like the monster, you know, kind of like fight your inner self. And then if they're less than you, they're going to break first. And I feel like that's kind of what a lot of fighters are really realizing is that, you know, it's mostly a fight against your own limitations when you're out there. And then just you're reacting sometimes to your opponent.
Yeah. How's the kid? Over a year now?
Yeah, she's 14 months, 14 and a half months.
Dude, crazy.
So, I'm pretty stoked about it. She's
any discussion of dose?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll have to see how this fight goes. Basically, if she, based on my wife's
like,
if
afford more diapers,
right? Like, if we could buy another house, if we could buy a house, then have another kid. And I'm like, okay. So now there's like some, you know, tension. Like, do I really want this? Do I really want all these things right now? You know, like win the fight, house, baby. A lot of things. So it all kind of rides on what the next 6 months, what happens in the next 6 months.
God, you're stoked, dude. Wow. That's a good looking kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looks like my wife. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? I know. That's so nice. Did I hear in one of the interviews that since your last fight, you've been in the room training with people like Pettis, Drew Dober, and Cerrone?
Yeah. It's been the past year. I've got to train with like several top 10 people and ranked people, and it's been really cool. Like, yeah, I used to like look up to these people. I was watching them in high school, and now a lot of like fighters I look up to. They're kind of like in their twilight of their career, and they're sharing wisdom, and it's been really interesting to kind of see them as like colleagues as opposed to like, you know, idols. And it's just been definitely a good year for confidence and kind of being able to size myself up and see where my deficiencies are and where my strengths are. And it's nice to like know that they're human. So
when people, I think this, fuck, what do I know? But I think that when fighters step into the ring with you, there's a huge unknown component. Like they're stepping in, like as much as it's known, it's unknown. Like, you know, there's people who, who's the Mexican guy in your weight class? Ayer Rodriguez. Like there's like all sorts of weird shit. Or who's the guy who's the commentator who's really good, but he's fucking weird as shit. His fighting, skinny guy, fights at 135, famous as shit. Dominic Cruz, right? Ryan Hall, Jordan Leavitt's like, you win a couple more fights and you're going to be tossed in there with those guys. You're weird as shit. Like no one knows. that bad shit can happen to you from some weird angles. Like you're like one of those video game characters that's got a move that none of the other dudes got. Like there's dudes like with big names, like, you know, and it's not a dig at them, but like Connor and Gaethje, but they just come out there and they do what we've seen a lot of dudes do. They got like, they fight. Do you sense that, or do you know that, or do you work that at all, or just is who you are?
It kind of all, like, yes to all those. Like, I can fight very orthodox. Mm-hmm. But like one thing I've kind of always been able to like use is the fact that I've sparred 1,000 people, like the people I fight, but everyone, when they face me, they have to go through like a period of time where they have to download what I'm doing. And like 15 minutes is not enough time to really do that. Like I'm awkward. I'm like, my rhythm's off and all these things. I'm very hard to hit. People don't ever like hit me. So I do feel like there's definitely, especially for the next few fights, because no one's been able except for Claudio to really stop my A game. Like,
yeah, when you grab people, they're in trouble, and I think that they know that there's a panic factor. Like they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I think the fact that I don't care what happens, like what position, like as long as I'm in contact, I'm going to flow. I'm not too worried about it. Like even my last fight, like Matt Sales, I feel like the moment he lost is when I didn't choke him out the first round. He's like, oh, okay, that was the worst. That's the worst that's going to happen. I'm going to engage him in the grappling. So I need him in the throat. And then he shot on me and I got the submission. Like, I'm able to keep like my squeeze. I can finish someone the entire fight. A lot of grapplers, they don't get you the first rounds and a half. They'll just be laying on you. There's not really that much of a danger, but I feel like I'm really good at maintaining my finishing ability.
Yeah. You sure are. I'm so excited to see you fight. I'm so excited. More excited because it's so unorthodox. It's not that it's so unorthodox. You're capable of anything. You're capable of knocking them out with punching them. You're capable of showing us a submission we've never seen before in the UFC. It's fun watching the other guys have to deal with the man that is Jordan Leavitt. Jordan, I hope this isn't inappropriate, but the week after you fight, the only guy you've ever lost to as a pro, Claudio, is fighting, and he's fighting Clay. Will you be interested in will you watch that fight?
Yeah, of course. Okay. The better Claudio looks, the better I look. Right. So I'm
Clay
his number
looked
one.
So good in his last fight, man. Clay looks insane.
Clay Guida's immortal, man. Like, I think that's a tough fight. Claudio, one of his main strengths is that he keeps a constant rhythm no matter what. So, like, he's not very imposing or very strong or quick or anything. But he's the same in the third round as he is in the first round. And Clay Guida is a buzzsaw. Yeah. So I think actually Claudio's striking is probably going to be the deciding factor, because Claudio will not be able to take Clay down. And Clay has very awkward striking. So I'm really excited to see some more aspects of Claudio's game, because I want that rematch sometime in the future. And I feel like this is a good fight to kind of game plan and study.
Awesome. Hey, dude, thanks for letting us jump on the Jordan Leavitt bandwagon. I'm so pumped. It's an honor to know you. It's so cool. I was tickled today. I was telling Matt all day ago, I didn't want to do a podcast. I'm like, but we got Jordan. We got to get Jordan before the fight. We got to talk to him. So I really appreciate you coming on. We got a lot of people watching, and we'll be rooting for you, buddy.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I can perform well.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah.
Later, brother.
Have a nice one.
Wow. I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited for it now too.
It's weird that we have these guys on the show. Hey, Dylan, what's up, brother? It's weird that we have these guys on the show and then we see them walk out at the UFC. It's crazy. The process by which bacteria or other microorganisms are unintentionally transferred from one substance or object to another. That must be a definition of some word. Hey, there's a fascinating video that Trevor Cashy made on French fries. Fascinating. And processed food. It's on YouTube. Trevor Cashy processed food. And he basically talks about why French fries last forever. And it's not even close to what I would have thought. Basically, as soon as you bite into a French fry, that barrier. Basically, if this goes to what Ken was saying, Trevor explains that bacteria needs oxygen and water to flourish. And basically what happens is there's oil over the French fry that makes it that it lasts forever. It's coated in this oil, but the second you bite it, that's why like you can leave fries out for 50 years and they look the same. Right. But as soon as you bite it, you break that seal, moisture gets in, air gets in, and it starts to decompose.
Oh, interesting. I was just trying not to bust up at this comment right when he first came in as you were transitioning to try to be serious.
Brent Major once stopped dating a girl because she refused to lock the dog out of the room. Wouldn't have been a problem if I didn't have to fend it off. Oh, yeah. I had a Great Dane that would try to get a piece of ass while I was getting a piece of ass. It was hilarious.
Horn dogs, man.
Yeah. Just a dog trying to what Brent, was it trying to bite you or hump you?
Both.
Yeah, my dog would try to get in and like hump, like bite on the back of the neck and hump him.
I like the mix that we had right there. It was like Hunter kind of just like in this state as he's transitioning out of his like career and finding out who he is, and then we just went to somebody who's like about to get on the stage, who's like hyped up for what they're gonna do. So it was just like two completely like polar opposites. But it was almost crazy because that line when he said like stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself, like that would have also meshed. And I think that that there would have been some
great
synergy
connection.
There as well.
Great connection, Susie. So we started the show with me just thinking like fuck you for you people who like want to help. By the way, we need someone to help. We need someone to cut us clips. I want to do reels on Facebook. I want to do reels on Facebook, and I need someone who like wants to go to the top with us. I want someone who wants to be a part of this story. So if you're the guy, but it's not
or girl.
It's not or girl, yeah. Anything. You could even be woke. I love everybody. But man, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And that's what Hunter said. Then Hunter said he threw a camp, and people would come, and after 3 days, everyone in the camp turns into a pussy. And that's what it's like. Like we've had 9 out of, why are you guys laughing? 9 out of 10, because the way I said pussy or something in the comments. 9 out of every 10. No. Do you need experience to cut clips? No. You have to just be able to work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It can't be like, you can't be like, hey, I'm going to Hawaii with my dad for a week. I'll be back. It's not like that. It's not like that. Do you know when Dave was deployed as a SEAL Team 6 operator that he still ran the CrossFit Games and we still talk to him in G-Chat every day?
That's insane. And
he would go on jobs and then still hit us up in G-Chat.
That's insane.
It's not for everyone to be great, to get on the great train.
Would he give us some of those stories, you think?
I'll give you some next year.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I'm in denial. Basically, you just have to be able to pick good clips. What I think is, so after I got off after we had Justin Nunley on today, he was just telling me that he's killing it on Facebook, and I said, how does that work? Because I don't do Facebook, and he says that you just make reels. And you put them on, and they have to be really like, it has to be someone who knows which clips to grab to make us look really, really cool, cooler than we are. And you put them up there, and then you put up, and once you get a following, then they'll invite you to be in the monetization of reels. And man, the money he told me he was making, you can't even believe it. And he said the reason why is because Zuck wants to take over. He's fighting with TikTok. Yeah, he's fighting with TikTok. Well, thank you, Jake. Yo, David fucking Taylor. Yeah, thank you. It was fun. He was easy. The
thing with the reel too, though, that makes it tough is that you have to fit it inside a 60-second clip. So in order to edit that process is going to take a little bit longer because sometimes if you're trying to
take 2 hours a day, it's going to take 2 hours a day to make 2 1-minute clips.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're trying to catch that specific clip, you have to find it and then cut it and then stitch that together to have it make sense. And then also the angle has to be such to where when you zoom in on the reel that it's centered inside the screen as well. So there is a little bit more.
I've been playing with it a little bit. It's been interesting just because these screens are in different spots. And like if you want to make it too narrow, you can cut off like the name and.
Right.
So you basically have to take one clip and turn it into and act like it's a 2-camera shot.
Exactly.
I actually did that with the Joe Rogan one, and I always mispronounce the guy's last name.
And basically, I don't know. I don't care what your motivation has to be. It has, maybe it's like, oh my God, I just want to work with Caleb, Matt, Will, and Sevan, or oh my God, this is my favorite podcast. I would do anything, or I just want to infiltrate these guys and uncover their heroin smuggling ring from China. Like, I don't care what your but it's not a joke. Like, don't. I'm trying to be really aggressive about it so that you don't you don't come on like you shouldn't think that there's anything in it for you. It's not like that. There's nothing. This isn't fun. Like, besides this part, then afterwards our life just goes to shit. You don't get to take any of this fun shit with you.
This is
just like, we get off the air and it's like just back to like it. So I don't think people get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they don't get. I think that maybe they want to be a part of stuff. They want to go to the hunter camp, and they want to, like, they think they want to like work hard, but they don't. And that's the way it is here too. I'd love to help, love this podcast, and believe in it. I live right by Will. Great.
Jake, are you gonna stop drunk commenting in our live streams?
We need you drunk commenting. Nah, Sousa's already overwhelmed. It's already over. How about our newsletter, guys? The newsletters. First of all, thank you for all you that signed up. Crazy. Second of all, you got to check your spam folders because that shit's getting kicked to everyone's spam.
Yeah, my promotions.
I saw that. I think it's pretty funny. Someone said that Beyond the Whiteboard launched a newsletter today. I wonder if they launched that newsletter because they heard me say we're starting a newsletter.
Obviously.
I've never been to Beyond the Whiteboard. I'm trying to remember what one of the owners' name is Mo. I sent him a text and congratulate him on the newsletter. And there's another guy, and they're both really nice. They used to hang out with Greg. Trying to remember their names.
Dude, I just checked the people that are subscribed to it, and there's a massive bump.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why can't Kinnick? They're the Kinnick brothers. They're both really nice brothers. There may even be three of them.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Tommy.
Jeremy Kinnick is the athlete. I loved working with him and filming him in the early years. What's his brother's name? He's really smart. I want to say he's a professor at some college. Anyway, him and Mo own Beyond the Whiteboard, I think. Oh, yeah, that's our newsletter.
Go check it out. Exclusive content. Exclusive.
That's what we have. I can't believe there's a newsletter.
My goodness. Looks really awesome.
I just emailed Sevan in 2022 and now it's 2028 and it's the largest. It's like Vice. They just took over and I make $1 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously a big vision for what this will turn into, and if you want to get on the ground early with it and be able to become a staple of it, this is the opportunity. Because, like the thing you were saying before, once the train gets going, it's like that's it. You know what I mean? Because then once we're really, really cooking with fire, which is already happening, and we're gonna really go there, it's gonna be impossible to get onto the inside.
You guys, I work so hard. I play so hard.
Ball so hard.
Yeah. Sevan, what do you think of Hazmat this last weekend? I think I'm crazy impressed by him. I do think that I saw what's Lance's last name? Maybe it's Steele. I saw my buddy Lance who at the beach today, and he was with his girlfriend who took 46 in the. Will you look at the CrossFit leaderboard? His girlfriend or wife, I don't know, Kelly took 46. I don't even know her last name. Took 46 in the world. I see them all the time. I had no idea she was so good. She's really hot too. Anyway, I saw them at the beach and we were talking. He thinks that Hazmat won and that and that Peter Yan won. Lone Star, I thought that Burns won and I thought Aljo won. Here's the thing. Hazmat and Yan were moving forward the most by far. They controlled the center and they were moving forward. But I think that the better blows and the control and the better fighting and Kelly Clark, that's her. Yep. 46th in the world. That's crazy. And I just saw her today at the beach. Weird, right? Man, she's nice.
It's like a celebrity.
It is like a celebrity. They're both really nice. Her and her husband or boyfriend, Lance. They're really nice. And I think he might be Canadian, which is weird. That's a joke, people. That's a joke. It's a joke. Hey, yesterday someone in the comments wrote, do you think Canadians really want to come to the US? I don't know. I'm like, no, I would think that you guys want to stay in your country too and do your semifinal. I didn't mean it like if I lived in Uzbekistan, I'd want to stay in Uzbekistan and do it. Don't get all weird. Like I'm not suggesting that Americans don't want to go to Canada because something's wrong with Canada, even though there is. I'm just suggesting that they don't want to go to Canada because they don't crossing the border, son of a bitch. You don't fuck in front of your dog. What's wrong, Caleb? Can you explain that to me? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
My thought process is essentially I've had the dog since it was a puppy.
Okay.
And the cat is since she was a kitten. But I've basically trained it so that I know. Like it basically just feels like a child. Like I've taught it everything it knows. It does everything that I ask it to. Like I understand. Like I can like pick up on its like emotions and stuff like that. And so I feel like it has like a human. It's also a border collie, so it's like basically a human, just by how smart it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
dude, you need kids so bad. You need kids so bad. But go on. Different story. Go on.
But yeah, so that I just have this weird thing about it's like if I have the dog in the room, it's like basically just having like. It's like as if you were having like a 7-year-old kid in your bedroom while you're fucking.
Not
like,
cool.
You know
not appropriate.
And
not appropriate.
Well, okay, sorry. So like, if you
not
like you imagine hanging around.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I got a 7-year-old. You can't fuck with. I can't fuck with Avi in the room. Clearly.
Well, you just can't like say anything without it like now just repeating everything that you've just said.
Right.
So now, but I mean, obviously it's a dog, so it's not going to just do that. But it also likes to like hop up and. Like even if I just go in to kiss my wife, like if I hug her and kiss her, like the dog wants to come in and like start humping one of them. So it's like I can't even have like my own.
Just waiting for an opportunity.
Literally.
Okay, let's see what Barnes. Wait, Caleb, I appreciate that. By the way, I have some. My first analysis is you need kids, but Jake, why don't you take? We are on Spotify. Mr. Ryan Barnes, go ahead, please.
Definitely.
What's up, man? How y'all been?
Very good.
What you been up to? I ain't talked to you in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I agree.
What's happening?
What you been up to? How the kids, how the family? What you been up to?
It's great. I'm pumped. Life's good. I'm just living the dream, just with my homeboys, Matt and Caleb and you.
I bet. How'd you just going for your kids?
One more time.
How jiu-jitsu has been for your kids?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Oh, I think I've talked to you before. You live in Watsonville.
I live in Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ryan, how can I help you, my friend?
Man, I was just chilling, just listen to the podcast, and I was like, man, let me call. I ain't talked to that boy in a little minute.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. You're in Houma, Louisiana? Houma?
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
In Houma? Houma? Houma?
Oh, no. I'm in Baton Rouge. I would have thought LSU.
Oh, okay. All right, brother. Well, I got to go back to figuring out why Caleb can't fuck. Do you fuck in front of your dog, Mr. Ryan?
I ain't got a dog.
Oh, do you have any pets?
He lives in the dorms.
No, I don't live in the dorm. I got an apartment. Hey, before I get off, I want to tell you that not added sugar. That shit is hard as fuck. I hope you know.
What's hard?
I tried.
Oh, quitting sugar?
Not quitting added sugar.
Yeah,
I thought of that shit for New Year's, bro. Every time you fucking look up something, they got this much sugar, that much sugar. How the fuck do you do it?
Yep.
Hey, so I'm going to tell you how I did it. It was crazy. So basically, I was trying for 15 years, and I just kept giving up more and more shit. So basically, when I started CrossFit, Ryan, the first thing I did is I stopped smoking cigarettes, right? And then because that just didn't, I just didn't mix. And like I'd finish Fran and then go out in the parking lot and smoke a cigarette. You know, it was like tarded. So then I basically I quit drinking soda, and then I never really did candy bars or anything like that. And then I just stopped eating like chips, and then I started eating less and less bread. And then finally it was like almost no sugar at all. It was just like I don't even know what sugar I would have. Maybe in alcohol I would have it, or in like I would have like occasional bars. And then finally I was like, hey, I'm really gonna fucking put my foot down. And I did that about 2 years ago, I want to say. And I did it. This is how I did it. I told myself that I could eat as much meat and hard cheese as I wanted to. And I kind of got that idea from Paul Saladino. Not kind of, I did. And so I basically just let myself eat and by meat, I mean hot dogs, steak, anything that just, as long as it didn't have added sugar, didn't matter. And I did that for at 2 weeks. And then I started adding like avocados and greens in. And then it broke me. And then I was just like, holy shit. The thing is after like a week, you'll start craving so much fat. And what I hear is you go into something called ketosis. So instead of burning sugar as your primary fuel, you start to burn fat, and then you start craving fat. And it's crazy because then you could eat as much nuts and avocados and shit as you want for a while. And that's how I did it. And then now basically it's pretty good. I'm not as strict as I used to be, but I'm pretty good. Like
And that was condensed. How many years was that for you?
How many years? It took me like 15 years basically to get to that point.
Right.
I had 15 years of just whittling away at like refined carbohydrates and sugar, and then finally just making the jump.
Yep. That's the biggest thing. They're just small steps there, Ryan, because we tell the members of the gym all the time, start with the liquid sugars, like start cutting those out. So if you drink 30 Cokes a week, go to 25, the next week, go to 20, then go to 15, and then slowly step yourself down.
Oh, no, my problem then with the soda, I haven't had a soda since I was 15. My problems is with biscuits, or like if I ain't had a candy bar in a while, I'm like, well, shit, I've been doing so good, let me go ahead and treat myself. And then it'll turn into 2, 3, 4 candy bars or a bag of Skittles, and it'll go to like a week or two of me eating candy, and fuck, I can get back on track.
Yeah, do you eat it mostly at night, like in the evening, or is it throughout the day as well?
Sometimes it's throughout the day, and then sometimes it's late at night. Sometimes I might, I'm gonna put on 3, 4 movies, and I'm just sit here and eat.
Do you smoke weed? Do you smoke weed?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's it. That I mean, if I smoked weed, there'd be no chance. There'd be no chance in me stopping. The thing, one of the things is I used to travel a lot, so I'd go to like hotel rooms. Like I used to stay in nice hotel rooms, $1,000 a night, motherfuckers, and just you wouldn't believe the bar. So I would get to my room at fucking 11 o'clock at night, keep drinking, and eat 10 packs of gummy bears, and call room service and having me bring up 10 more. Yeah, once you open that door, and it was because I was drunk all the time. So you can't, it's really hard to quit sugar if you're doing other drugs, because then all the drugs just want to jump in.
There is one trick though. After you have a little bit, or even before you go down the treats, especially if you do it in the evening, just go brush your teeth with like a shitload of toothpaste. And basically,
I heard that word too.
Yeah, because then it'll.
Or eat fruit. Eating fruit really works too. If you eat a whole apple, like you're.
I was about to say when I smoke weed, it's like I don't want any candy. I want pizza. I want burgers.
That's the same as candy. It's almost worse than candy. That bread and pizza, and it's almost. Man, they didn't sell 1 billion Jack in the Box hamburgers because they taste like ass. I'm sorry. I know everyone's gonna be like, no, those are horrible. Bullshit. I love a Jack in the Box hamburger because that bread is yum.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. That bread is yum.
Especially after you smoke that bowl, then you're gonna go to that drive-thru.
And I'll take the Oreo milkshake and 2 large Diet Cokes, please. You just busted a nut. Ryan just busted a nut. Ryan, nice talking to you, brother. Stay in touch. Peace. Peace. Watch out for them alligators. Never look back. That was November 2. Here's Denise. What is she saying?
It's actually Jenny. That's what I did last time. Like, see, I planned.
Wait, what are we looking at?
You have it right. It's dense after 40.
Okay.
And I
Never
called her
looked back.
Denise.
Oh yeah, Denise. Yeah, dude, fine, Denise. Never looked back. That was November 2020-ish. Since then, I've added in some carb fruits and white rice since I was training CF more often, but I've never felt better. Yeah. Hey, you know how I know I'm crazy?
How?
Because I bought a container. Well, one, because I wear this hat, but two, I bought a container that's like you store dog food in and like seal it so rats can't get in. And then do you know what I'm gonna say, Caleb?
No.
And then I bought like 20 of those. What are those things called that like they're in your vitamins so that moisture doesn't get in there? Incandescent. What are those things called?
That's a light bulb, but I don't think that's.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what I'm talking about? They're like these packets that keep like moisture out of your shit.
Anyway, you find in jerky.
Yeah. Or just vitamins. Anytime you open a brand new bottle of vitamins, there's one.
Right.
Anyway, and I bought a whole pack of those, and I bought a 50-pound bag of rice, and I put it all in there. And I'm going to get another 50 pounds of rice, so I have 100 pounds of rice.
In a dog food container?
Yeah, because that's the only thing I could find that was like.
He's prepping.
Yeah, I'm prepping. He's a prepper. End of days prepping. I don't even have water, but I got 100 pounds of rice.
You know what's funny? Somebody sent me this thing in the DM that was like a clip from like Fox News. It was like Tucker Carlson, and he was talking about the food shortage that was going to come and like how bad it was going to be. And right at the end of the article, talked about his like meal ready to eat company that he had in there, and he's like selling these like packaged prep meals.
Sucker,
so like,
that's me.
Is there a hidden agenda here? We need you to be afraid of the food shortage. By the way, have a solution.
I'm such a sucker. But I just bought. Oh, here. Oh yes, I just bought rice. I bought 50 pounds of rice, and this container holds another 50 pounds. So I'm gonna have 100 pounds of rice. Part of me just wanted to start putting my hand in there and doing like those hand workouts you do in rice.
Yeah.
Like
but I'm like, hey, this is supposed to. Yeah.
You ever drop your phone in water? You're ready to rock too.
Yeah, you could drop 50 phones in water and it'd be good.
Just start stuffing them in that rice.
You guys have any food ready for Armageddon when the zombies come?
I don't even have food for tonight.
Bunch of ravioli, canned Chef Boyardee.
I need to buy some of those MREs.
So those shits are expensive.
Yeah, they are expensive.
Yeah.
Just get rice.
You try to buy them in a regular store that's like $10, $15.
I got a bulletproof vest and about 100 rounds of some 223 armor piercing.
And you're ready to go.
You're good. That's all you need. You just steal from everybody else.
Can you play number 12 for me? Number 12. I kind of want this guy to be a feature on every show.
Are you bringing it up, Caleb?
Yeah, I got it. Just
okay.
It's BU by Gundy. Last week, this guy told us that it's not just about pussy. You need girls who have money. And this week,
Sean G.
Yeah. Oh, is that his name? Sean G?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. I've been studying.
Okay, here we go.
Listen to me, man. Be unique, man. What's up, homeboy? Be unique, man. Be unique. Be different. Don't copy them motherfuckers, man. Don't copy them motherfuckers. They don't know what they doing, and they copying another motherfucker who don't know what he doing. You supposed to be unique. It's only one of you. It ain't two of you. It's only one of you. Your whole mitochondria, your whole DNA, it's only you, man. Be your true, unique self. Be able to stand by yourself, all by yourself. Like now, I'm standing here. I'm chilling here like this. I ain't going over there. Don't copy them motherfuckers. Don't copy them. Them niggas, they don't know where they're going. They got no direction, no aim, no map, no compass, no water. They don't know what's up. Be your own unique self and follow your heart and follow your mind, man. That's what you do. Be unique, man.
Yes.
Hey, man, listen.
Those high knees at the end, or what's up?
I just want to be a part of that. That's why I like that dude.
Should we get him on the show?
No, not yet.
Okay.
He only has 9,000 followers. We got fucking standards. But I feel everything he says.
I like his stuff. I started.
It's not just about pussy. It's about you need girls with money too. It's not it be you.
I don't know. Was that the message?
I don't know. I just it's like that clip that we played earlier today in the show this morning. The words don't even matter that come out of his mouth. It's something else. It's Bo Hayes he's dope.
Yeah,
he's
Sean
dope.
He's
so fun.
Feature in the newsletter.
It's the same reason why I like the Liver King, and I can't believe people hate on him. I saw Joe Rogan hating on the Liver King. Listen. I want to tell you something. If you eat this, if you think that the Liver King is telling you that if you eat this, you're going to have his body, you deserve to buy this and be duped. That is not what he's saying. I've never got that from him. I'm not eating this to look like him, and I could give two rats ass if he's on steroids or not. Zero. Why would I care? I mean, I care just for the curiosity, just like I'm curious how many pounds of grapes I'm going to get this year. But like if I know or don't know, like I don't care. Why would you care? If he says that he's natural and he's not, I feel bad for him. It means nothing to me. I'm not judging him. I don't think he's an asshole. But I do know that that these dead animal organs in here help my situation. And that's why I buy the shit. They don't sponsor me. They give us money to cover Wadapalooza. But how could you possibly think that he's telling you to buy these to look like him? That he's never said that. Never heard anything close to that. That's like just a huge jump. When I heard Rogan attacking him, or when I hear people attacking him, I'm like, that's your problem. It's so obvious to me that's your problem. Now, if you were just like casually to be like, yeah, I don't believe him that he's not that he's natural, that he's on steroids. Okay, I get it. But there's like this hate towards him. I love his shtick. It only makes my life better watching him. I don't watch him and think I want to do bad shit. I watch him and think I want to do good shit. I want to eat better. I want to exercise. I want to be close to my family. I don't get why you would hate on him in any way.
It's kind of like the same.
You feel bad for his kids. I don't want to get into it.
It's kind of like the same thing. Like you'll hear like a story of.
Did you listen? Sorry, Susan. Hold on 1 second. Did you listen to the podcast? His kids. The reason why he does this stuff is because of his kids. His kids were fucking dying. One of them especially from autoimmune disease. He changed his whole fucking life. He's been through a lot. I'm impressed. by him. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. What were we gonna say, Susan?
It's like when you hear like a story of like, like fit 30-year-old, like whatever, dies due to like a heart thing or something. You instantly kind of look and you're like, okay, well maybe there was a condition that's really rare that it happens to, or there was like a recent in Sacramento, there was like this recent shooting outside of a nightclub. And it was like, oh, was it just an active shooter, or was there some sort of like, was it, a fight or something that escalated? And you kind of almost look for those things, because then if you could point to it and go, oh no, he had a rare condition in his heart, that's why he died. Oh no, it wasn't just an random act of violence with the shooting. It was actually gang related, and they kind of knew each other and stuff. Then you feel better about it, right? Like, oh, there was an accident and some random person accidentally got hit by a semi, and you're kind of like, well, hopefully, were they on their phone? Were they not paying attention? Because then it makes you feel a little bit more secure. Like, oh, there was a reason that happened, or that happened uniquely to them. And so I think sometimes with the Liver King things, people immediately hate on it, and they'll go, oh, well, he's not natural and he's doing all this, because then they're kind of justifying his success. Like, oh, he's just lying. He's just a charlatan. You know what I mean? He's taking shortcuts. That's why he's so successful on his internet platforms and his business is booming. Because then they have to be like, oh shit, this dude just works really hard, regardless of steroid uses or not, right? So it's almost
I don't get why anyone cares. Unless you were like, hey, you really want that body and you want to know exactly what supplements he took so you can get that body. Okay, then I could see caring. But right. I don't care if he's lying or telling the truth. Like I don't. That's not.
Or this comment that is
every.
Idiots will start eating raw liver since he does it. But here's the thing. What's the side effect from that? Like, is anything bad going to happen? Because I know a lot of people.
Well, I'm one of those idiots. I would have never eaten raw liver if I didn't see him do it, and I did it.
But like, what's the name?
I would have never eaten raw eggs if he did. I didn't see him do it. I did it. If I didn't see Paul, what's also fascinating too is Paul Saladino is friends with Joe Rogan and friends with the Liver King.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
Paul
maybe
Saladino
Joe-
is very, very. I think Paul Saladino maybe is even what got Joe to try the carnivore diet. And I know Paul Saladino is very close with the Liver King and has helped him a lot with helping some of the ailments that the Liver King's kids have had.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. You think Joe was just kind of in an annoyed mood? You know how like he's always on his podcast and doing a bunch of stuff and like everything gets like clipped and then it goes like all over the place. You
Yeah.
think he was just like kind of just annoyed that day and someone just kind of caught that.
Sure,
He was just
sure.
annoyed and just like went
Sure.
off on that riff and didn't really mean as much as like the, you know, how bad it was or how bad it seemed. But that clip's just, it's already gone. It already happened. So now that's the position
let me
of
say
Joe.
this though. There was that. You remember that whole montage that they put together of him?
Yes.
That's not nearly as mean as what he said about the Liver King. That's the Liver King is just one man.
Yeah,
and he
took a
just
whack
came
at him.
him so hard, and it's like, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Ken Walters, I've been on Paul Saladino's live blood and beef organs for 3 months now, and it's been phenomenal. My CF workouts, mood, sleep, everything hard to describe. Even feel more this inner peace about everything. Ken, me too, but for me, I still don't recommend those to anyone unless your diet's super clean already.
Yeah.
Like I think the reason why they're so powerful for me is because my diet is so clean already. But yeah, but I sure as Phil don't feel more buff. I've been taking creatine and arginine and shit. I feel swole as shit. Benching 195.
Dude, we need a creatine sponsor. I've almost started taking it because of you talking about it all
Benching
the time.
195.
You're like, I have like no desire to.
Dude,
Caleb,
wait
are you
a-
taking creatine?
Yeah, you guys don't take creatine, Souza?
No.
I take
Hey,
it.
I'll
Hey,
show
I
you.
have in the past, but like,
There's only one to get. That's the funny part. All the other shit is stupid. There's just one to get. It's a bag of just raw creatine. And if you just put what's the best creatine, it'll bring it up there. Like all this other dumb shit that our friends are
you get it
selling.
from Now Sports.
Don't buy any of that dumb shit. And it tastes horrible. You take a little spoonful of the creatine, you put it in water.
Creatine tastes like something?
Or it's the arginine. One of them tastes horrible.
Maybe the arginine.
And I put them both in a little shot glass of water and I spin it around and I just shoot it down.
Do you measure how much you take?
No, I take it. No, it's different every time.
You're just free balling it, huh?
Free
Like
ball,
it takes
yeah.
a handful of
Okay.
the ancestral
Yes.
supplement.
I have no idea. I
Did you
just
go
want to
through a
get through
loading
these
phase?
2 huge jars I have. What?
Did you go through a loading phase?
No.
Okay.
I basically just use it like for motivation.
How many months have you been doing it?
No!
I don't know.
I think aren't you supposed to like kind of like wean on and off of it over a
That's
period of time?
pre-workout.
You can wean whatever you want, Suze. I don't do any weaning. I don't do
know.
any weaning. I don't do anything that sounds like wiener. Hey, I like taking it because then it makes me work out a little extra hard anyway, because like I'm like, hey, I'm not going to waste that shit. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah. And I've been just doing a lot more, I've been doing a lot more like bodybuilding stuff. Like, so today, today I just held 20-pound weight after riding the assault bike. I held the 20-pound dumbbells, and instead of doing a hang clean, I do a curl to press. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been doing more of that. I mean, I still do like some other shit. I do a ton of negative bar muscle ups as slow as I can through the transition, because that shit'll make you strong.
It will. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Why
I
do
do.
you think I don't have hair, Will?
Oh shit.
Hair started falling out. Is that what is he serious?
Hey, I bought some creatine one time that was like one of the brands, like one of the brands, and
proprietary blend.
It would make me angry.
Oh shit, that's some good shit.
Yeah, it would make me angry. I didn't lose any hair, but it made me angry.
It wasn't that JB creatine, was it?
Hey, is Will telling the truth that it?
I don't think he is, but maybe. I don't know.
It's probably just shitting on the fact that I'm bald. Thanks, Will. I don't have a choice.
Okay, let's look at number 14. I want to get this off the list. I think I've already talked about it once, but I want to bring it up one more time. This is the iDisc phone lockbox, and Chris Williamson put out a. Have we talked about this yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Then never mind. Well,
you can talk about it again.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, they got some muffins in there now.
Basically, it's a box that. Will says he's not joking. Basically, it's a box that you put shit in, and then you set a timer, and the box only opens and closes at certain times of the day. And this guy, Chris Williamson, I was on his podcast. That podcast kind of damaged me. That's a whole nother story. But, or I let myself get damaged. Take responsibility, you pussy. He talks about how he has to put his phone in there so that he can get away from his phone.
Dude, you know who we should get that for?
I would never admit that. I have way too much pride for that.
I
would fucking throw my phone in the ocean before I did that. Go ahead. And I would do that. I would go down. I'm totally that guy. Fuck you.
And then like 10 minutes later, be like, fuck.
Yes. Yep. And order a new one at the Apple Store. Yep.
Sponsors.
Yep.
I was saying we should get one of those for our caller, Ryan. Then that way when he gets stoned, he could put all the treats in the lockbox and then set the timer for after he's done. And then he wouldn't figure out how to get it open anyways. He'd be stoned, and then it'd be all good.
Dude, that dude lives in between a Kentucky Fried Chicken and a 7-Eleven. He's got... Okay, I'm crossing this one off the list. Okay, so we talked about the lockbox. Done. Okay, let's get rid of number 15 too. Wow, the show's gone long already. Hour and a half. Tomorrow we have Con Porter on, guys. It's going to be good. We screwed that up once. Sorry. He's coming on tomorrow. Okay, let's play. I forget even why I chose this. Been on the list so long.
I'm 25 years old. I'm going to be a self-made millionaire. And he laughed at me.
How old are you?
I'm 24 now, so... You know
Keep an eye on that clock.
You're nearly there, yeah? I really do. I already feel like a millionaire, Ryan. You know what I mean? I really do. I feel like a millionaire. I feel like a superstar, and that's the way I felt back then when I first started. You know what I mean? I kept that vision in my head. I kept that belief. I hit the gym. I trained hard. I believed in my abilities, and now here I am. I'm at the making a big name for myself on the mixed martial arts scene. I'm at the making some money, and hopefully it inspires all the martial arts I call here, and all the guys from my gym and all around the country, you know, to go after their dreams and chase it down, because there's only one thing that's impossible. I give up. By the time I'm 25 years old, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire.
To be the man that doesn't give up. Oh, but he's on steroids. He's a horrible man. He's on steroids. He threw a temper tantrum. I don't like his attitude. He said something bad about someone's wife. Shut up. Take the good that you see from Conor McGregor and add it to your quiver and throw the rest away. Don't waste your time worrying about any of that other stuff.
I was going to ask you if you think he's changed since then.
Yeah, he's changed. He's rich as shit. He's got his own whiskey.
Did you ever see the documentary that they posted that they put up on him from Netflix? Maybe it's like a couple years ago.
It was stupid.
You didn't like it?
Because I kind of lived it. I've been following him close his whole career. Not his whole career.
I think my favorite part of it that just stuck out was when they gave him that house in Vegas or whatever. Or maybe he bought it. And he was showing everybody, then he'd be like, and look at my closet. And then they would open up and he would look at him for their reaction when they'd be like, holy shit. He'd be like, I know, right? It's crazy. Like he was like just as shocked as he's showing people, and just like to see the reaction of it, because he was just feeling it for the first time every time they walked into. I thought that part was pretty cool. It
was like for a comeback fight, and he ended up losing the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the doc or something. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I wanted to see it. Stupid's not right. I guess since I just lived it already in real time, I just didn't.
It didn't do it for you. See, I didn't follow him like crazy close, so for me, it was like more of an insight.
Isn't it amazing that Girl Scout cookies cause type 2 diabetes?
What?
Listen, did you know? Listen,
Girl Scouts are on steroids.
You don't have a package of Thin Mints in your freezer?
You're worried. Like if you want to, like instead of going after the Liver King or Conor McGregor, why don't you go after the Girl Scouts? Oh, but they're such cute little girls. They fucking sell shit that makes people fat and shortens their life, and they brag about it. and they use little kids to peddle it. Hey, it's like some fucked up thing. It's like, you know, like in like the ghetto movies, like, or in The Wire, you see like a 7-year-old selling drugs in front of the projects. It's like that, but the white people's version. We got the Girl Scouts. We kill them slowly with cookies. It is. I mean, it really is.
And seriously overpriced.
And you don't even get high. You're fucking miserable. The only time you enjoy it is when it's in your mouth. It's the opposite of dick. You only enjoy it when it's out of your mouth. It's fucking crazy. Now, I'm only speaking from experience. I've only enjoyed dick when it's not in my mouth.
If you had to replace what they sold, what would you have them sell instead?
Say that again?
If you had to replace what they sold, what would you have them sell instead?
Glucose monitors.
I thought you were going to say creatine.
Creatine? Sevan, Matosian, creatine. Sevan, in regards to the Girl Scouts, take the good and throw the rest away. No, it doesn't quite work like that. Doesn't quite work like that. I appreciate it. I appreciate the attempt. It doesn't quite work like that.
I like the Eyes of Dead comment here. The Girl Scout cookies don't cause it. The idiots who overconsume them. You know what?
I only put a little bit of peanut butter in my Lamborghini in the gas tank, just a small dollop, and now it's running weird. Hey, how do I get rid of this person? How come everyone else I can block and I can't block Ujapeth?
That's a Twitch. That's a Twitch comment. That's why. Get your Girl Scout creatine this year.
Yeah. Why don't they put some creatine in those cookies?
Oh, Sogo snacks. What if the Girl Scout cookies sold Sogo snacks?
Sogo snacks.
Oh, we look at you. You got to.
God, I wish these guys would sponsor me.
On deck.
What even are those?
He replaced the bag of weed with Sogo snacks.
No, the bag of weed's here somewhere. Who stole my bag of weed? I pushed it out of the way.
UPS driver.
That's a real endorsement right there. We do need a Sogo Snacks sponsorship. What the hell?
I want to show you this guy. I can't stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy. But I want to show you this is how bad the situation is with our current president. This guy has done so much damage to the country. This next video I'm about to show you, it's number 17. He preaches weakness. He preaches the victim mindset. He preaches blaming other people. Instead of talking about the actual subject at hand and actually pointing out the facts, he just makes fun of people. You know, it's funny. Someone told me the other day, they're like, how could you vote? How could anyone possibly like Donald Trump? And they went off on it to me. And I'm like, hey, I totally get what you're saying. You don't vote for Donald Trump because you like him. You do it for your country. You do it because we have a babbling idiot, senile old man falling apart at the helm. I cannot believe what's happened to this country in 2 years. You don't vote for Donald Trump because you like him. You vote for him because he's the best thing. He's the best thing would have been the best thing for the country. You have to get over yourself. Yeah, you're right. No one's like super excited to have Donald Trump over at the house for Thanksgiving to like hang out. I get it. But man, you sure as hell don't want to hang out with Biden. You feel bad. Like he'd be like, can someone wipe my butt? He's like in the bathroom, like my kids. No, and I have to send my kids away. Man, these are good. Okay. Trevor Noah, one of the most vile human beings, and I say vile in the sense that he argues other human beings' limitations for them instead of believing in people. Look what he says.
Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet, or maybe he'd just like ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as president wildcard. You know, just keep everyone on their toes. Because if Trump was calling, you best believe the UAE, they'll be racing to pick up the phone. Oh, Mr. Trump, we're here. Hello? Too late, Ahmed. You made me wait 2 rings. We're bombing the UAE. Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never.
Yeah, I'd host Donald Trump too.
No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's call.
You can watch. Bye, Noah. Thank you, Caleb. When the Nelk Boys interviewed Trump, they were all so good. Trevor's the worst. I know. Him and Colbert and Stewart, they lost their mind. It's so sad. But you know who Bill Maher turned the ship around. Joe Rogan tried to turn the ship around. Russell Brand tried to turn the ship around. These were like hardcore socialists. All right. I feel pretty good about getting those off the list.
That was good.
Oh, number 18. I had a friend that wouldn't have sex in front of his dog. Did we talk about that?
Check that one off the list.
Now you have 2 friends.
Hey, I heard there. Oh, one more thing before we go. Can you type in Philadelphia and type in news? Are they requiring masks in Philly now again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure are.
A piece of meat stuck in there. Oh, really? Is that true, Bruce? Bill Maher's on. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Oh, shoot. I'm out of mints. Sorry. Masks are required inside the Philadelphia reinstates indoor mask mandate as COVID-19 cases rise across blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's so crazy. I want to say it's so funny. Can you type in New Zealand COVID? Just look at their Google, New Zealand COVID. Look at this. I just love this. Wait, what happened? Look at it. That's all time. Hey guys, what happened to the? You guys gotta get. I told you.
That's why they should have never let him outside.
I told you. You should have just built huge concentration camps and gotten rid of everybody. You knuckleheads. You locked your whole country down like morons, and now look what you've done. Boy, you really did a good job. People from New Zealand would just go crazy on my Instagram because I would be like, dude, you guys are screwed. You better let this thing run wild.
It only lasted 2 years.
Crazy. Hey, Denise, why we can't just tell us to go to Justin Medeiros' story? Are there naked girls there? Like what? Why would we go over there? I mean, I like Justin a lot. I like his dad. But why would he? Is he in Philadelphia with a mask on? Australia is the same way. Australia got slammed. When is Brian coming back for games update? He was actually just texting me today about what he thought about Colton Merton's chances to make it to the games, and I didn't like what I heard, so I blocked Brian.
Putin caused that spike.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's people that think that it's Putin's fault that our gas prices are up. There's people who think that in this country. That's like saying I'm not eating a candy bar right now and it's 7-Eleven's fault because they're closed. Oh. I can't even imagine being in a brain like that, that is so detached from your own personal responsibility and capabilities. Go ahead.
I told you about that guy that posted on my thing that I put up about changing the verbiage around homeless camps and calling them open drug markets. Yeah, and he had said that the only reason that most of the homeless are on drugs is so they could stay up through the night for protection.
I go to every night when I go to bed. I put a condom on before I go to sleep, just in case someone jumps on my dick.
Hey, you never know when you're gonna get
crazy talk.
It's like
fucking crazy talk.
That's an interesting perspective.
I do meth just because I'm afraid if I go to sleep, I'll get robbed.
It sounds like someone would be like, oh, okay. He's like, I just need to come inside and use your restroom real quick. Oh, okay. And then they're rifling through their stuff in their room. And it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just looking for a pair of socks where you keep your money over here. Oh, okay. No problem. Hey, all my money's gone. Yeah, somebody came in while I was in your bedroom and took it, but it wasn't me. Oh, okay. Thank you. You got to be pretty naive to think that. Wait, Scott Panchik signed up for a semifinal.
I'm surprised, Victor, because I can't I can't. There's no end to that game. I like to see the end. There's no solution to that game, and I just can't imagine that in my own head. But it's because they don't see they don't see it for what it is. That I know it's not. I know it's just because they're thinking wrong. So I guess I can believe it. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You're right. You win. Thank you. I'm not surprised. China, dystopian paradise. Where is let's look where Scott is. And then we have to go. Then we have to go. Let's look where Scott is. Scott Panchik, someone is saying, Will Brandstetter is saying that Scott Panchik has signed up for
the MAC.
Wow. Ooh. Okay, let's see who's in there really quick. Okay, so Scott will beat. So Scott may not beat Justin, but he'll beat Hopper. Okay, who else? Keep going. I guess there's a chance Travis could beat Scott. Unlikely. Okay, keep going.
Angelo will definitely beat him.
Angelo definitely. Wait. Why is Angelo in there? That makes no sense.
Should ask him.
Okay, let's call Angelo right now. That makes no sense. Isn't Angelo on a team? Wait, are you at the right year?
No, maybe not.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. That's why.
Okay.
Will's going to come in here and unfuck me.
Syndicate crown.
Oh, shit.
You made him get out of bed for this, damn it.
Okay. What's up, Will? Okay.
I actually just need a security code from Sevan. That's the only reason I
was did you just send did they just send it?
No, it was before the show. I need it for my other laptop.
Oh, sorry. I'll look right now.
Yeah, people, this is what working on the podcast is like. You need a security code. You got to hop on the show to get it.
Nobody answers their phone. Everybody is off doing other shit.
What time would they have sent that, Will? Oh, I see it. I should just give you access to my email. I'm sending it to you now. Okay.
We were just talking about this. You let him into the house, and he steals the money from the sock drawer.
Hey, so let's see if there's 4 people who can beat Scott here. Basically, we're trying to figure out whether he can go to the games. I don't see anyone who can beat Scott.
James Sprague, maybe.
No, but he'll do good, I think. Tudor Magda, I think that's the guy that does trains with James Townsend. I think that's the kid. Yep. Okay. Will Morad, he's really good, and there's Taylor. Okay, so Scott's going to the games, but there's still more people who need.
Justin and Hopper are in this too.
Oh, they are
at Syndicate.
Yeah, well, they're not on the leaderboard yet, but they will be.
Okay. Hopper won't beat him, but Medeiros will. Okay. Well, shit. You heard it here first. We should change the name of this. Scott Panchik is going to the CrossFit Games this year. You heard it on the Sevan pod. Yeah. Yep. You heard it on the Sevan podcast. And Bruce Wayne also puts his vote in there. Yeah, just casually. I know. Right, Corey? Okay, guys. Thanks everyone for checking in. Peace and love. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Con Porter.